Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So we would like to present our topic about leadership and retention in early childhood education. But before we begin the presentation, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is Nazira Ghasani Ali. My last student ID is 094, and my friend.
My name, my name is Nazala Kistinsen Kamila, and my last student ID is 136.
My name is Afris Kanar Alia, and my last student ID is 114.
So the first we will start with introduction, but Nazala will explain about introduction.
Okay.
In this article, highlight the significant workforce retention crisis in the early childhood education sector worldwide. This study aimed to explore how various leadership styles, such as instructional and transformational leaderships, influence educators' decision to remain in their profession. In its primary focus is to identify specific leadership practice that can reduce high employee turnover rates in ECE centers. Next.
So next I will explain the abstract summary. So this study discusses the issue of early childhood educator retention as a global concern. It focuses on the important role of leadership in retaining educators. So the findings show that limited leadership development opportunities and high workloads can increase the risk of teacher leaving their job. On the other hand, informal mentoring plays an important role in supporting both new experiences leaders. So overall, strong relationship and organizational support are key factor in improving educator retention. So the next is about the research objective. So the objective of this study is to investigate the factors that influence early childhood educator retention, especially the challenges faced by leaders. So this study also aims to identify supporting and inhibiting factors, as well as to explore solutions such as mentoring programs to improve retention. This research is important because it highlights the critical role of leadership, which is often overlooked in education policies. So the next is methodology. Explain.
Okay, next I will explain about methodology. This study employed a quantitative approach using a cross-sectional survey design involved 136 early childhood educators in Australia. Data were collected via an online survey that attacked the Vanderbilt Assessment of Leadership in Education instrument to measure leadership quality. Statistical analyses were then conducted to identify which leadership style most significantly influenced educators' intention to remain in their profession. Next.
Zira, next. In this section, I will explain the key finding of the study in more detail. As you can see in the slide, leadership plays an important role in education retention. This means that the way leaders manage their responsibility can strongly influence whether educators decide to stay or leave their jobs. The study also found that many leaders experience heavy workloads. They are responsible to administrative tasks such as documentation, planning, and management. But at the same time, they are also expected to stay engaged with children and support teachers in their daily activities. It's because of these multiple responsibilities, leaders often experience role conflict, and the situation can make them feel overwhelmed, stressed, and emotionally exhausted. Hmm, Another important point shown in the slide is that limited preparation for leadership role are also becomes a challenge. Many educators are promoted into leadership position without receiving enough training or guidance beforehand. As a result, they have to learn directly in practice, which can be difficult, especially in demanding work environment like early childhood education. Now, if we look at the implication of these findings, it becomes clear that there is a strong need for structured leadership training programs so that educators can be better prepared before taking on leadership roles. And in addition, emotional and professional support system are also very important because they help leaders uh, manage stress and maintaining their well-being. Finally, mentoring, especially informal mentoring, can be a very effective strategy because it allows leaders to share experience, receive guidance, and feel supported in their roles, which in the end can improve both retention and overall performance. Nazira, next. Okay. And the next is conclusion. In conclusion, as shown in the slide, leadership as key factor in maintaining educator retention. This means that effective and well supported leadership can help reduce the number of educators leaving their jobs. However, leadership alone is not enough. The study also highlight in the importance of work condition, including workload, rural expedition, and the overall working environment. All of these aspects can influence how satisfied educators feel in their jobs when the workload becomes too heavy or when the environment is not supportive. Educators are more likely to experience stress and eventually consider leaving. Another important point is the role of support system. Supporting from college leaders and the organization plays a very important role in maintaining motivation and professional engagement. Looking at future research, there is a need to develop more structured leadership training programs so that future leaders are better prepared before taking on their roles. In addition, it is also important to examine long-term Uh, sorry, it is can okay, sorry. In addition, it is also important to examine the long-term impact of mentoring to understand how continuous support can influence retention over time. And finally, future research can explore different early childhood education contexts to see whether these findings are consistent across various settings. Okay, next.
Last is personal reflection. I found this article is very interesting because it directly addresses a real problem faced by early childhood education teachers today: burnout and the desire to resign. It turned out that the key isn't just salary but also how superior our principal treat and encourage their teachers. Next.
So, from Mbak Afriska and Mbak Nazala say, leadership plays a very important role in maintaining educator retention in early childhood education. Work conditions, support system, and mentoring are key factors that help teachers stay motivated and continue in their profession. We hope this presentation can give a better understanding of the importance of leadership in education. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, any question?